Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am back for a second video today, guys. We'll be talking about emotions in alcohol recovery. As I had said earlier in my first video, I'm talking about alcohol recovery because at the moment I'm working with the rehabilitation center. Yeah, so let's get in there and discuss what emotions or what are some of what do we understand by the word emotions. But first, we'll ask ourselves, why does emotions hit hard in recovery? Yeah, for us who are for some of the people who are recovering, they'll be in a better position to understand what I'm really talking about. But for those who haven't had such an experience, and I hope it's most of us, and pray that it remains that way, we say that emotions really hit hard in recovery. And the reason being that it's because, for example, most people say that since I stopped drinking, I feel worse, or I'm always angry all the time. And some of them will even say that I cry for no reason. And I'll give an example with the names that the name of people that I'm going to name here are not for, it's just for our understanding. They are not real people. I'm just trying to give examples of what experience that I've had to see. And I'll start with a practical example. When James used to use alcohol to calm his anxiety after work, uh, sorry about that. So James used to use alcohol to calm his anxiety after work, and in recovery he comes home sober and suddenly feels restless, irritated and tense. Nothing bad is happening, but his body is screaming. And here we'll be asking ourselves what is really happening. But for him, alcohol was his emotional regulator. Without it, emotions return unfiltered. So his nervous system is like learning a balance again. It's learning how to balance without the use of alcohol. So sobriety removes the anesthetic. It removes the anesthetic, and healing begins when the pain wakes up. That is what you have to understand. And on to our second part, we'll be going to early recovery emotions. Here I'm talking about 0 to 3 months when someone is sober. And I'll give an example. So Mary is 2 weeks sober. She wakes up with her heart racing. She thinks, what if I fail? What if I cannot do this? Before, she would drink to quiet her thoughts. So what's the response to what she's experiencing or what she's going through? She can have slow breathing. She can exercise slow breathing, and she can also practice reassuring self-talk. She can maybe tell herself this feeling will pass, or maybe she can even call someone instead of isolating herself to help her with the anxiety or the emotions that she's experiencing. Anxiety doesn't mean danger. It means adjustment. It means adjustment. Another emotion we can talk about is irritability and anger, or anger, however you say it. So I'll give an example as well. So Peter snaps at his family over small things. He feels ashamed later, and before then, alcohol used to take the edge off, but now he cannot do that because he's sober. So what is he experiencing? He's experiencing unexpressed stress. Also, he's experiencing lack of emotional vocabulary. And how can he deal with that? He can just pause before reacting, and maybe tell himself or in his mind, I'm overwhelmed, I'm not angry. And that will help him calm down and be able to to approach his uh, his emotion in a better way. It can also be emotional numbness. Oh, sorry. On to our third emotion is emotional numbness. For example, Lucy says, I don't feel happy or sad. I just feel nothing. Here we can explain that she's either experiencing brain dopamine levels are recovering, or emotional flatness is temporary. Yeah, and for that, feeling nothing is still feeling something. Healing takes time, you know. So we just have to keep going and keep telling yourself that you are on the right direction, you are headed in the right path. We can go to our second, or the middle recovery process. That is from 3 months to 12 months, and now the emotions are getting deeper, and we're experiencing some of the emotions that we're experiencing right now. They are maybe guilt and shame. Yeah, and I'll give an example of that. So Daniel remembers birthdays he missed, money wasted, people he hurt, and now the shame floods in, and he might sometimes feel or even say to himself that I don't deserve happiness. But we should always remember that this is guilt or shame talking at this point. So guilt says I did something wrong. Shame says I am wrong. So when the guilt can guide change, shame must be released. And how do you change what you're feeling? Some of the things you can do is make amends with the people that you hurt. Uh, Write forgiveness letters if that is what you might want. Sent or even unsent. You just have to write them and express what you have to say. Another middle recovery emotion is grief. For example, Amina grieves the years she drank, and she asks herself, who would I be if I stopped earlier? at this point, you have to understand that the grief is not self. When you grieve, you shouldn't self-pity yourself. It's honoring lost time. Okay? So, a compassionate response one can give themselves when they experience things is telling yourself you didn't fail. You survived the best way you knew how. So, on to our next emotion is anger towards others. For example, John feels angry that others moved on while he struggled. And this can cause some emotions like sadness or feeling sad. Fear of being left behind is another thing that can happen. But for this, what you can do is you can journal the real feeling beneath anger. This will help in what you are going through. So we'll go to another section, that is high risk emotional moments for relapse, and they are very practical. So you might experience loneliness. For example, Friday night, everyone else is busy. The silence feels heavy. Alcohol keeps whispering, telling you that I need company.